Horizon Forbidden West is one of my favorite games of all time, not only because the gameplay is just amazing and the scenery looks gorgeous, but also because the story is so relevant to today's age. It connects artificial intelligence with the climate change as well as space travel, and it incorporates everything in one beautifully crafted story. And out of these stories, there are just certain lessons that I want to remember forever, so that's why I share them right here. The first lesson is all about artificial intelligence, and in the game there is this constant struggle between a benevolent AI and a evil AI. And the evil AI is not necessarily evil, it just blindly follows instructions, while the benevolent AI actually has a personality and emotions attached to the survival of humanity. And ultimately this feelings-based AI that is attached to the outcome ends up making much better decisions that help humanity thrive. And just distinguishing that AI from just following its simple rules to creating an AI that actually wants to help humanity is something that I think will be super important in the future, as well as the development of further AIs like ChatGPT and trying to tune them more towards being beneficial for humanity instead of blindly following the instructions. The second lesson that I took away from the game is that of difficulty. And I think this ties quite nicely into the whole aspect of AI, because AI has the potential on taking away difficulty because it just does all of the tasks for us. I think this is not the route that we should go down to, because there is something inherently human about struggling and overcoming the struggle. And I think this is what makes also games so fulfilling, that we have this challenge that we want to overcome, and the more difficult the challenge, the greater the reward and the sense of accomplishment that we are feeling. So it's not necessarily always a good idea to make things as easy as they can be. Sometimes a challenge is something that really keeps us engaged and also allows us to reach our potential, because we have to struggle against this challenge and really make the best out of it. The last lesson that I took away from the game is perhaps the most powerful one, and I think it can be described in this quote: "When it looks impossible, dig deeper and then fight like you can win." And this is really the core concept of Horizon Forbidden West, that sometimes this boss battle just seems impossible to win until you really start to understand the enemy. And you can use your focus to scan the enemy and see its weaknesses and then start really exploiting them. And if you really go down that path, a fight that seemed impossible before suddenly becomes rather easy. And I think this we can also take away in real life, that sometimes the challenge ahead of us seems impossible to solve until we find this one point that makes everything else so easy, because we were just looking at the problem in the wrong way. And maybe it's a perspective shift, or it's just a different strategy, and suddenly things start to click and they are much easier. So just looking for these weaknesses that you can exploit and really go down that path of not necessarily running and bashing your head against the wall, but taking a step backwards and looking for the door that is maybe even right next to that. These were the 3 key lessons that I took away from the game, but there were so many more exciting moments in the story that are just unforgettable for me. And I want to share those moments with you by streaming these games here live on YouTube. And the next games that I'll be getting into are Jedi Survivor, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, as well as Hogwarts Legacy. So if any of these excite you, or any future upcoming game, do join me there, and I'll see you at the next level.